First thing you notice is the atmosphere, the quality of the tables and the chairs. As I came through, they said, "Oh, we got to give you a tour of the place." You know, they showed me around. Whenever you have several details like that, it starts to add up and just creates a better experience.
This place is absolutely gorgeous. I think they did wonderful with the design and everything. It's just very comfortable.
As a server, I'm gonna handle all of your needs: food, snacks, coffee. If you bring your own alcohol, we will be here to serve you guys.
It's brand new, as you can see, and I like chargers on the table. That's new for me. Come play. It's gonna be a great time.
The building is absolutely gorgeous. It just has a great open area, for people to just hang out, have a good time. The management is focused on just creating a positive experience for everyone.
We're going to have an armed guard at the front, making sure no one brings any weapons in, make it safe for everybody inside.
Their promotions are really starting to bring people in, and as it grows, it's definitely going to compete with the other rooms in the area and probably overtake them.
We have some of the best tournaments going on, some of the best cash games as well.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are just a few minutes away from the conclusion of this tournament. Day 2 here at the Summer Jam 100K Guarantee here at Poker House Dallas. What's that?
I said camera's on.
Camera's on. Now turn it on. Get myself a little camera time. In the booth with me, I have Mr. Eric Anderson, who's been our go-to guy here with the live stream.
Hey, happy to be here. How is it going?
Thank you, viewers, for those of you viewing in. We started today off with 60 players, already down to 25 players, where one of those players will be walking away with just a little over $43,000.
Action's fast and furious.
Very, very fast and furious. Eric, how do you think the overall tournament's gone so far?
I think it's gone excellent for the first annual huge tournament. They were sweating the guarantee when I got here last week. They were going, man, I don't know, we got to get this many players. And I said, watching how busy their room was, I said, you don't got to be sweating the guarantee. You got to be sweating. Let's get some dealers in here.
Yeah.
Let's fill this place up with staff so we can have cash games. We don't have alternates, and they did a fabulous job of getting everybody through. We streamed every flight.
And that's one of the things I mentioned in the stream, that a lot of rooms across the nation, they just typically generally feature the final table. And what I was telling the viewers in the chat, that you and Poker House wanted to give other players the opportunity to be featured at the featured table. They may never get an opportunity like that to be on a featured table. So just giving a lot of players the opportunity to play, get some, FaceTime here on a live stream. So
instead of the last 9 people getting some publicity, I think we did the math and there's 120 people in it. I've got to go help mingle.
Yeah. So here we are. We are a few seconds away. Again, 25 players left. Oh, just kidding. We have more than that. About 6 minutes left before we conclude this last few levels. Again, you'll see there on the clock there the payouts for the remaining 60 players. First place paying over $43,000. Very successful tournament. Again, Eric was talking to management before the tournament even started, and they were concerned. And I said, it's not a matter of you guys breaking the guarantee. It's a matter of which flight you break your guarantee. And lo and behold, at the end of the 4th flight, we had 6 flights total for this specific tournament. They broke the guarantee at the end of the 4th flight. And everything after that's just been a bonus, pretty much doubling it for a total prize pool of $204,480. For the first half of this stream, it's just going to be myself in the booth. Mr. Craig Dobson will be joining us later, has some commitments that he has to fulfill. But until then, you guys are stuck with me. Fortunately or unfortunately, it is what it is. Just under 5 minutes left. 25 players. Blind levels will be 25,000, 50,000 with a 50K big blind ante. When we get down to 18 players, we will be doing a final 2-table redraw. When we get down to 10 players, we will be going hand for hand for the final table. And then those remaining 9 players, as you see it on the screen here, playing for that $43,000 prize pool. Second place with $27,000 nearly. Third place just under $20,000. Fourth place under $15,000. Lots of money to be made for these remaining players. Lots of crushers left in this. Many of these players that you've seen over the feature table throughout the duration of this tournament, the last 6 flights. I believe it's Rick going to be in the box. Dan Simone, crazy. Yeah, I agree. Who's the chip leader? I'm not sure who the chip leader is. I just came in. I've been here in the booth the last 3 nights well after 2:30. We were told, I thought we were going to stream at 12:15, and Eric said, no, there's probably going to be a lot of bust outs. Didn't want to keep on having to rotate players in and out of the feature table. So after the first break is when we were going to go live. I can step out and see who it is. ML saying Shane Howarth, FTW. Unfortunately, I cannot say what that specifically means, but I'm pretty sure you in the chat know what that means. Got a Shane Howarth fan. For those of you in the chat, let us know who you're rooting for. That's remaining in the tournament and or the feature table. I'm going to step out of the booth for a few minutes. Need some coffee. Struggling a bit today. Got up at 11:30, looked at my clock, turned it back over, snoozed it, and said, give me another hour. Gonna go out, step out, get some coffee, be back in the booth shortly. And when we get back in the booth, we'll be well underway for the remaining 25 players here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just a few seconds away before we kick off the final remaining 25 players. Dan, I actually had a chance to walk around really quickly, and you're correct. Dusty is the overwhelming chip leader. For those of you tuning in the chat, blue chips 25,000, pink chips 5,000. As Rick gets the deck ready to go, we will resume play. Have Nicholas Morgan saying, "Let's go, Shane." Nicholas, TJ actually busted in 26 right before the break. So unfortunately, Mr. TJ Cloutier literally just busted when I walked in. So he was the last player to bust before the break. Miss Michelle Bogard saying, "Hey, thanks for the live stream. We've enjoyed you and your comments in the live chat." Cheering on Mr. Bart Bogard. I think he believes either in the 5 or 6 seat. Getting ready to shuffle up and deal. Again, lots of viewers in the chat. Thank you very much for joining in. Let us know who you are cheering for on this feature table. I know Mr. Shane House on the... Excuse me. Mr. Shane House, one of the overnight supervisors here at Poker House. On the feature table, Mr. Bart Bogard, Tournament Crusher. Mr. Randy, I believe, is in the 1 seat. I guess I could swing the door up and see who else I recognize on the feature table. Corey Cook saying Bart in the top 25 may as well just give him the win. I tell you what, that guy is an absolute tournament crusher, making, late day runs and all these WSOP events, making final tables and deep runs. Texas Card House, another local card room not too far from here. Guy's just an absolute crusher. And we are now underway as Rick gets ready to shuffle up and deal. cheering on for Shane and Randy. Cards are being dealt. Let's get underway. We are in level 21 with a small blind 25K, big blind 50K with a big blind 50K. Bart Bogart with 10-8 of hearts under the gun folds. Sitting with 1 million chips, just around 20 big blinds. Shane, the short stack at the table. Queen 6 off folding. Again, at some point throughout the last 6 flights, the last few days, all of these players, I believe, have been on the feature table at some point. Andrew Brown in the hijack with King Queen suited elects to open to 150K. 3x the big blind. Folding to Stanley Holly, who rips it for the remaining stack. 450,000. Just a pinch under 10 big blinds with ace-5 off. Andrew Brown in a tough spot here. It's good, it's for a majority of his remaining stack. Will only leave him with 4 big blinds if he calls and doesn't win this. Classic coin flip if he decides to call. Does he want to put his tournament life on this hand? Close spot. King Queen suited is one of those at the bottom of your range in a spot like this where you call. King Jack suited, you're laying down. He elects to open, fold, King Queen. Stanley showing his ace-5 off. Would have been a coin flip. Again, as you see over here on the clock, the payouts. As you can tell, there's not a big discrepancy between big blind chips at this table. Obviously, Andrew under 10, Shane 6, but the biggest chip stack on this table, Randy Lister with 31. And as these blinds increase, you're going to see a lot of players being eliminated from the field. We started the day off with 60. Again, I woke up this morning, went back to bed, rested a little bit, opened the Poker Atlas at 12:30. Again, we started at 60, and we were already down to 45 players. Lost 15 players in the first level back on day 2. And then when I got here, just before this, went from 45 all the way down to 26, 25. So lost, another 20 players in that time frame. Folds all the way down to Sticky Mike. King 10 off, raising it to 105,000. Ooh, Sean Ellis on the button with pocket kings. Probably going to rip it here. Does go all in for 20 big blinds. Stanley Holly pocket 6s. Folds in the small blind. Bart folding. Going back to Sticky Mike. Going to lay it down. Sean picking up about 185,000 chips, just under 4 big blinds to add to his stack. Pushes him over 25 big blinds here. Oh, and we already lost 1 player down to 24 players. Again, when we get down to 18 players, we will be doing a final 2-table redraw. And then once we get to 10 players, we will be going hand for hand for the final table here of the first annual Summer Jam 100K guarantee here at Poker House Dallas. And again, for those of you in the chat, we will be utilizing this stream here going forward, not just for tournaments, but for cash play as well. So I know Dan in the chat, they're going to have a weekly game. I think it's going to be on Wednesday or Thursday this upcoming week. He has a group of players, 25 players that are going to regularly play a 1-2-5 hold'em game. Going to mix in some other stakes here at Poker House, some 1-2, bigger games, maybe 2-5, 5-10. Randy under the gun, or middle position, raises to 150 with King 10. Shane Houghton, the big blind, with 260. Short stack. This is a hand you can go with. Hand that plays very well post-flop. Never really drawn dead with that hand. Elects to fold, loses total of 2 big blinds. I would like to have seen him get it in there. But elects to fold. I played with Randy on a number of occasions here at Poker House and at Texas Card House, and very aggressive player, puts you in tough spots. I know a few weeks ago, 2 or 3 Saturdays ago, she won at Texas Card House, won their weekly Saturday tournament. when she was heads up. I think she got in Queen Jack versus King 10 and spikes a Queen or a Jack at some point on the board. So congratulations to her on that win. Here we are in hand 4. Andrew Brown under the gun with 6-3 of clubs. We'll be letting it go. Randy with 1.7. And as a chip leader, she can put a lot of pressure on the remaining players, knowing that they want to ladder up, try and maybe sneak into a pay jump, using her chip stack to her advantage, making it 125,000. Bart Bogard on the button, pocket threes, deciding whether or not to get it in, lays it down. Shane Houth with pocket eights in the small blind, gets it in for the rest of his stack. Obviously, Randy's going to call her. She doesn't have much fold equity based off only having 135,000 left to call. I look for her to call here with her being behind, and she does. We're going to be going heads up with Shane all in for his tournament life with pocket eights versus ace 7 offsuit. Oh, and on the flop, Randy spikes an ace, putting Shane well behind. Needs to hit an 8 on the turn of the river. King's a turn. He is now drawing it, and Randy has won the hand. And Shane Howarth, one of the overnight supervisors here, eliminated from the tournament in 24th place. Randy picking up more chips, adding to her big step here on the feature table. Again, as we lose players, we'll be moving players from the feature, or moving players from the outer table to the feature table. Have 7 here on the feature table right now with Randy, 39 big blinds, 2 million, all the way down to Andrew Brown with just under 10 big blinds. And Nicholas Morgan, we are still working on a way for you viewers, players, to get in the live stream. I think we're going to either set up an email account at some point at the conclusion of the tournament, probably not today, maybe Monday or Tuesday. We will be announcing that probably on our Facebook page, so look for that over the next couple of days. We'll make sure we get that situated. Thirsty Donkey in our Twitch stream saying, let's go Sticky Mike. Bart Bogard in the cutoff, Queen 6 off, electing to open to 125,000. Ronnie Bell in the small blind. Going to make the call. Let's see what Andrew has. Ace 8. Base off his hand. Standard defend. Maybe thinking about ripping it here. Doesn't have too many chips, just under 10 big blinds, the smallest stack. Already losing 2 big blinds with being the big blind and the big blind ante. Queen 6s, and that's BT Hell. Shout out to BT Hell, one of my favorite players here that's in the live chat. One of our favorite players that was on the feature table wearing his funky shirts and his funky hats. But for me, door dashing Taco Bell while Craig and I were in the booth. So again, shout out to BT Hell. Thank you very much for that Taco Bell delivery. We're 3 away to the flop of King, Queen 5. Ronnie in the small blind with top pair. Andrew Brown checking. Bart Bogart. 825,000. Going to elect a continuation bet. Makes it 125. I wouldn't be surprised if Ronnie rips it in here for the remainder of his stack. And he does. Andrew's going to fold. Bart in a tough spot. Definitely probably putting Ronnie on a king here. You don't take that line on a normal basis on a check raise out of the small blind without having a very good hand like king right here. I think Bart's going to be able to find the fold knowing that the tournament crusher that he is. Blake Withers, there's no way that Ronnie's not going to rip it there in that spot. For some reason, Bart had a better hand, which he doesn't in this scenario. Then just it is what it is. Yeah, I remember BT that wild hand on the feature table. There was a hand a few days ago where BT was open under the gun of queen six of diamonds. Under the gun plus one had jacks. He 3-bet BT's open. Another player behind him had pocket aces, 4-bets it, folds around to the big blind, where he also has pocket aces and 5-bet rips it. Obviously, BT folds. The jacks calls off. Anyway, pocket aces, both sets of pocket aces split the pot, but the run out would have been queen six, and BT would have won that hand if he had elected to stay in that hand. So I'll tell you what, BT, if I get queen six suited at some point, I'm just going to get it in. Lots of viewers today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, I'm Edward Batinga, solo in the booth today for right now until my co-host, Mr. Craig Dobson, gets in here. Down to 23 players, I believe. We may have lost another player. Chris, thank you. How are you doing? Thanks for joining in the chat. Ronnie folds all the way to the button. Ronnie Bell with 6 deuce. It's going to be a blind versus blind scenario. Andrew Brown electing to limp in. Folds to Randy in the big blind. Probably going to, again, use her chip stack to put pressure on Andrew. Makes it to 175. And Andrew folds. Thank you, Chris, for the kind comments. Appreciate it. Yeah, you had some tough spots on the featured table the last few days against the other play. Or if I remember correctly, you had like trip queens and you had top two. I think you had aces and sevens, and the other player had pocket sevens yesterday to the same player. Tough run out yesterday. Lego saying, "Hey, I see you chatting BT Blake Woods. Put him in with the 8. Put him in with ace 10." Next hand underway, Sean Ellis, 7-6, under the gun folds. Stanley Holly with queen jack off. Ace 10 for Bart. I can see him ripping it in here. In the hijack, in later position. May just elect to raise. Makes it 125, leaving himself with 575,000. Mr. Ronnie Bell with pocket deuces in the cutoff. Folds. Andrew Brown ripping it on the button with 9-6 of hearts. I think you're going to see Bart call off here. At worst, he's coin flipping in this scenario. Could be ahead of Andrew's range here, knowing that he's short stack, could be shoving pretty wide. And he does elect to make the call. Overwhelming favorite. Oh, and he flops. Andrew flops 2 hearts. Bart does have the ace of hearts. Turns a queen. And the river is a brick. 7 of spades. And Bart Bogart eliminates Andrew Brown. Bart now over 1.1 million in chips. Just over 20 big blinds. Have Miss Megan in the YouTube chat saying, "Go, Jared." Again, for whatever form you're on, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, like and subscribe. Get our notifications when we go live here with our live stream. Give us a shout out here in the booth. Like and subscribe. All our social media platforms. We would really appreciate it. Now down to 6 players on the feature table. Again, Randy with the overwhelming chip lead with 40, but again, with these blind structures, that could change pretty quickly. Folding the Bart in the hijack with ace 4 off and folds. Ronnie Bell with 9 deuce off in the cutout. Oh, and Randy on the button with a very good hand with the blinds left to act king queen suited. Obviously going to be putting pressure on the blinds, making it 200,000 4x, forcing both blinds to fold. Randy picking up chips again. And at this blind level, just the blinds being in there, that's a total of 125,000 chips. Now down to 22. This could be a fast day 2 here. Blinds going up significantly. About 15 minutes left in level 21. Next level, level 22, the blinds will be 30,000, 60K with a 60K big blind ante. Bart Bogard under the gun with King Jack off, sitting with about 22 big blinds. Probably going to open now that they're short-handed here on the feature table. And Ziva the Donkey. The payouts are posted on Poker Alice. If you don't have that, I will read them out here in between the action. But first place is paying nearly 44,000. I believe second, 19,000, just north of 19,000. I know min cash was, okay, so first is 43,000, second, 27,000, I'm sorry. Third, 19,000. Fourth, 14,000, fifth place. So anybody in the top 5 are going to be making over 10K. And again, this was supposed to be just a 100K guarantee. Poker House here blowing the guarantee out of the water with a total prize pool, as you see there, just over $200,000. Announced it as a 25K first place prize. That first place prize is not only 25,000, actually 43,000. So somebody's going to walk away $43,000 richer today. And this hand folds to Randy in the hijack with ace-jack off. Again, using your chip stack. Going to open to, looks like 150,000. And again, for those of you joining the chat, the pink chips are worth a denomination of 5K. The blue chips, 25,000. Folds to Bart in the big blind with King 7 off and folds. Again, I think this is the second or third time Randy has used her chip stack to pick up just the blinds. Sean Rice in the chat, on the Facebook chat, saying, let's go, Bart, win this. Yeah, and Ziva, I think the min cash was just under 800, so I believe the final table, those making the final table, the minimum payout on the final table, give me a second as the payout scroll through here on my screen, on my side. $4 or $5K, I think. I agree, Chris. Again, I've played with Randy multiple times. Very aggressive player. Sticky Mike with Queen Jack 2 in the hijack, electing to put the rest of his chips in just under 10 big blinds, putting his tournament life on suited Broadway cards, folding all the way to new player on the feature table, Mr. Eugene Playo, with Queen 5. Nothing like getting moved to the feature table in the big blind and having it all in front of you to make a decision. And folds. Oh, wait. I think we're getting the action tracker up to date. Oh, it still hasn't made a decision. I thought he folded. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, I think they have to rewind back the action tracker to make sure the action was correct. But we do know that Sticky Mike is all in for the remainder of his stack under 10 big blinds with Queen Jack spades. And Eugene folds. I believe he did have Queen 5 off, Queen 7 off. Unless the RFID cards read incorrectly. Lego in the chat was on the feature table a few times the past few days. Says he's rooting for Eugene, knowing that he's still in it. Here we are with the chip counts. Eugene coming to the feature table with 30 big blinds. 2 players. Sticky Mike with now 11 big blinds. Stanley with 10. Look for those players to pick a spot to get it all in, hoping to double up. Chris saying Eugene had bottom pair and I had top 2 in the big Choctaw WPT event and sucked out on him And he's good. Ended up with a little over 20K. Stinky Mike. I mean, he could be Sticky Mike, but I hope not. Sticky Mike. So I've been in the booth for 3 days, past 3:30. My enunciation at this point in time may be poor, so it's definitely not Stinky Mike. It's Sticky Mike. Here we are, Sean Ellis, opening 8-9 suited in the hijack, folding over to Eugene in the small blind with king, queen off. Going to make the call. Ronnie Bell with queen, 9 of spades. Hand you could very well defend with here. Plays well post flop. And elects to make the call. We will be going 3 ways to the flop with 380,000 in the pot. Here's the flop. Queen of diamonds, ace of diamonds, 8 of hearts. Everybody but getting a little piece of this flop. Eugene flopping middle pair with a king kicker. Ronnie Bell with a piece of it with middle pair, but a weak kicker as compared to Eugene. And Sean Ellis flopping bottom pair, but also having a flush draw to go with it. Now Eugene also blocks the nut flush draw with the king of spades in his king of diamonds in his hand and the ace of spades on the board. It looks like check to Sean, who will use his combo draw and take the betting lead, betting 350,000 into 380,000. Just under a pot size bet. Going to be putting Eugene and Ronnie in a tough spot. Both have middle pair. I don't see how they can make this call with that sizing of a bet here, with Sean representing an ace. Oh, Blake, that would be so sick if that came out like that. I would go wild in the booth. Oh, and Eugene folds. Ronnie will probably be folding here as well. Just posturing here. Going to lay it down. Not enough backdoor equity to win this hand. Although he does have the best hand, with him winning 58% versus Sean's 42%, but Ronnie not liking an ace on the board and having a marginal kicker with his queen right here. Sean having ton of backdoor equity here. Ronnie's still thinking through. Let's see what he does. And again, for those of you in the chat, do you guys like having the overhead mic? Oh, and he likes to rip it. Oh, wow. Putting Sean in a tough spot. Ronnie taking a line of check, ripping. When Sean makes a big bet of nearly pot size on the flop. Was not expecting that. I like it. Going to put a ton of pressure on Sean. What's Sean going to do here? Sean going to make the call. He's going to fold. Viewers in the chat, what do you think? 1-4, he's going to call. 2, he's going to fold. Oh, never mind. And he makes the call. Big pot brewing here. Wow. Thirsty Dog saying he's calling. Well, you guys know he's going to call. And turns an ace. River an ace. Ronnie rivering a full house. Knocking Sean Ellis down to 260K. Leaving him with just 5 big blinds. Now Ronnie having a overwhelming chip stack size here on this featured table with the gangster check raise rip on the flop. Blake, I agree. It's a pretty sick shove. You know, I've had the opportunity to watch him. He hasn't made those types of plays when he was on the featured table. So for him to make that play, I was surprised for him to make that play. I thought he was going to fold there, seeing that ace on the board. But I guess he decided he was going to make his stand there, put Sean to the test, and does, and holds. 6-6. I agree. Donna, good night in the Facebook chat saying good bet. I agree. What a move. Now putting him just under, I think, 40 big blinds. Not Randy's still the chip leader. I apologize. I think I said that he was now the chip leader at this table. Randy's still a chip leader. Now Ronnie moving up to second in chips on this featured table. Now putting Sean in a tough spot, less than 5 big blinds. Stanley Holly, what a hand to wake up to with just 10 big blinds. Obviously going to rip it here. Or he may just elect a min raise. Makes it 125,000, I believe. 150,000. Ooh, Bart with pocket sevens. Probably going to either can elect a flat or make it 3-bet. Doesn't just flats here. Ronnie with queen 5 in the small blind. He could be feeling it. Oh. He put the cards on the rear, and I thought he was going to make a move. Randy in the big blind. Going to complete and call. Probably going to go 3 ways to the flop. Standard defend to slightly over min click. Look for Stanley to get it all in here. Rips it in for the remainder of his stack. Probably going to get some full. Probably Bart and Randy going to both fold behind. Bart wisely folding. Randy folding. Stanley picking up chips, not chicks. Chips. Putting himself at about 17.5, 18 big blinds. And there you go. Here's our payouts for 28 through 36. $993. Stanley now with 17 big blinds. Ziva the donkey. Another donkey here. Ziva is actually a real donkey who I own, but it works for poker too. Do you actually own a donkey? Like a mammal? Warm-blooded donkey whose name is Ziva? Interesting. No. Oh, here we go. Sean Nelson under the gun with king 5. Shoves the remainder of his stack. Randy in the small blind going to probably make the call, seeing that she's dominating Sean here. Eight, 5, 3 on the flop. Sean hits a 5. Now takes the lead. Randy drawn to a queen. Oh, for good measure, Sean turns a third 5, giving him trips, and then a river's a full house. With the much-needed double up, now putting him over 11 big blinds. That's a hit that Randy can afford to take with a big chip stack. Does drop her below 2 million. Still probably about 37, 38 big blinds. I think they're replaying the hand just to make sure they get it correct in the action tracker. Again, for those of you viewers, thank you for joining in here for the final push of the Summer Jam 100K guarantee here at Poker House Dallas. What was supposed to be just a 100K guarantee has now created a prize pool of over $200,000, with first place paying nearly $44,000. I believe we were down to 21 players. Again, once we get to 18 players, we will take a small break, do a final 2-table redraw, and I will be stepping out of the booth during that break, getting chip counts accurate. Probably going to have some new players here on this feature table. Probably swap them out. Again, for those remaining players here, at some point, they probably have played on this feature table. Again, when we get down to 10 players, we will be going hand for hand until the final table bubble bursts. Ronnie Bell in the cutoff. Now, I believe the chip leader at the table. Pocket nines in the cutoff. Should be opening here. Looks like 200, 220, 210. Just north of 200,000. Makes it 220K, 4X in the cutoff. Pretty big sizing here. Probably not going to get any calls. Probably just wants to protect his pocket nines to over cards for the action left behind him. Takes down the pot, picks up 80K. Or, I'm sorry, picks up 150K. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 80K? I don't remember. We are now into a new level, level 22. Small blind 30K. Big blind 60K with a big blind ante of 60K. 7 players here at the feature table. One short stack Sticky Mike with just under 5 big blinds, or just at 5 big blinds. Bart under the gun with 9-6 suited. Going to be folding here. Yes, Chris Mays agreed. For those of you watching, please be sure to like and follow Poker House Dallas to stay up to date with daily tournaments and other things. Again, for those of you in the chat, hey, let us know how we can make this live stream better. 1. 2, what you think we can do here at Poker House to improve our customer service here. Can be anything from promotions, food deals, things of that nature. I was asking some players, you know, players that play tournaments and cash, what they would kind of like to see from a tournament perspective. I'd love to get your opinion on tournament structure, not necessarily tournament structure in terms of blind levels and things of that nature, but the types of tournaments you guys would like to see here at Poker House. I had made a suggestion, maybe having a tag team tournament would be kind of fun. Maybe a women's event. Maybe a mixed game tournament. You know, I'm a big mixed game player. I love playing horse-to-horse games, some of the triple draw games. But let's see what you guys in chat think. Opinion. Thank you, Chris, for the kind words, saying we're doing a great job here in the booth. Chris says he thinks the final 2 should be redraw for all tourneys, even flights for big events. Again, correct. Now, for those of you just not familiar with tournament poker, the way these quote-unquote multi-flight tournaments work, you know, a poker room, casino will have multiple flights, you know, cut down to 10, 12, 15%. This particular tournament here at Poker House, top 10% will bag intact to day 2 with a Sunday restart. So that's how multi-flight tournaments work. Should do so. Yeah, Blake, that's actually 100% what we wanted to do. We will be streaming some lower stakes cash games, some 1-2, some 2-5. I think those games really relate to a majority of the poker-based community here, not just in Dallas, but across the nation. You see more recreational players and mid-stakes players liking to see 1-2, 2-5 because they relate to that. I love seeing the big games sometimes, you know, like the Hustler, seeing Garrett, Andy, those kind of guys. But from a relational standpoint, you get to see how players play at these lower stakes. I think it's more fun, too. Blake, I think a tag team tournament would be really fun. There was a tournament series back in Houston at a room that I played at on a regular basis, and they had a tag team tournament. I paired up with a Houston local legend there. I said, let me play the required. I said, I'll pay the entry fee for both of us. I'll play the required hands that I have to, and you just take it over from here. You take a majority of the prize pool. I just want to say I won a particular tournament with you. Unfortunately, we didn't cash, but I think we snuck into the final table. Shane, yeah, you were short stacked for a majority of today, and ended up making it to the after the break, finishing 25th, 24th place. So good run. You only fired one bullet, correct? Sticky Mike here with ace-10, going to be getting it all in. Less than 10 big blinds, shipping it for the remainder of his stack, 265,000. Folds to Sean in the cutoff with King Deuce diamonds. Eugene could call here. He's got over 20 big blinds. He already has 100,000 invested in this hand. Only needs to call off 215K. Still will leave him with 1 million chips. Over 20 big blinds. Kevin Haynes saying this was a great tournament. Very well run with great staff. Thank you very much. I will say there was a lot of concern, one, with meeting the guarantee and having enough dealers and, getting the live stream going. I think all things considered, the staff here at PokerHouse did a phenomenal job. Chris saying I wish I only fired one bullet. I don't want to ask on the air how many bullets you fired, but I definitely know it was more than one. Considering how many times you were featured on the featured table throughout the course of the 3 days. Eugene in a tough spot here. Knowing that Sticky Mike could be pushing really wide with, 6 big blinds, 7 big blinds. Still, he will leave him just over 20 big blinds if he were to call off here and lose his hand. I wouldn't blame him for calling here. I think if he had a hand like ace-9 off, he could call here. Ace-7's at your bottom of your range or to call off, another 265K. Sticky Mike takes down the pot, picks up the blinds, chipping up a little bit. Now I believe has 8 big blinds. Don't ask me to do math right now. Viewers, I am a CPA, so I do numbers for a living, but I think I've been in the booth a total of 30, 35 hours plus now. Chris Mays, I stopped counting at 7. Nicholas Morgan, I love mixed tournaments. It's something I've picked up recently playing, and I'd play them all. I agree, I'd play them all. I think a women's event would be fun. I think a tag team event would be fun. I think a mixed game tournament would be fun. Nicholas, as soon as I get an opportunity, I'll tell you a funny story. When I was in Vegas this past summer for WSOP, after the tournament, the whole series ended, hung out with some of the WSOP floors, played a little house game. They taught me some mixed fun games. I got to tell you about one of them. Super fun. Super degen game. It's a mixed game, limit game. Here we go with Randy under the gun with pocket fives opening the 150,000. Folds to Ronnie with 10-9 suited. Definitely a hand you should be defending with the suited connectors. Carving out chips to make the call. Only needs to put in 100K more. Already has 100,000 invested in this hand with the big blind and the big blind ante. Handy makes the call. Have 330,000 going to the flop with 2 of the big chip stacks here at the feature table. With a flop of ace, queen, 10. This is a good board for Randy to attack, knowing that she opened under the gun. This is a board that definitely favors her under the gun opening range. It goes check, check on the flop. Now it's 7 of spades coming down. I could see this hand going check, check again. Maybe Randy takes a stab at it here after Ronnie has checked 2 times in a row now. Let's see what she does. Carving out chips to make a bet. Looks like about 225. Makes it 300K. Nearly pot-sized bet. It's going to force Ronnie to fold in this spot. I'll tell you what. I said he was going to fold last time against the hand against Sean, and he ends up check ripping it. So, does he have 2 check rips in his repertoire here? And doesn't want to do that against another similar big stack. Randy taking this hand down. All right, so Nicholas, here's a game that I played. Again, this is with some of the WSOP floor supervisor. It's a limit game, played a house game. Very cheap game. It's called Super Chicken. Okay? So everybody gets 4 cards. Your standard, each street capped at a bet and 4 raises. Okay? So everybody gets 4 cards, and there's 3 boards. Let me say that, 3 boards. So there's betting each street. After the last round of betting is complete, the dealer burns a card, flips a card. Okay? If it's a club, the top board goes away. If it's a diamond, the middle board goes away. If it's a heart, the third board goes away. And if it's a spade, all 3 boards stay in play. So you could theoretically have the nuts on one board, and let's say you're playing the top board, and the dealer burns and turns a card, and it's a club. You're dead because now that top board is gone. Super fun game. I was actually going to step outside to take a break, and I saw how degen that game was. I said, I'm going to wait 30 minutes until we finish this. It was so fun. Nicholas, I love stud games. I love all the horse games. I think my best game out of all the horse games is probably Omaha 8 or better. But I picked up a fancy for Limit Hold'em. I played some Limit in Vegas the last week I was there after the WSOP ended. Don't get an opportunity to play Limit games here, specifically horse games. You see a lot of the triple draw games here in Texas, but none of the horse games. So I played a lot of Limit Hold'em the last 5-7 days. Super fun. Here we go with action here. Stanley Holly raises it to 175 with King Queen suited. Eugene on the button with pocket 7s. Electing to call the raise. And Randy gonna get in there with 6-3 off. Getting a decent prize. 555,000 in the pot. With Jack 9-9, nobody getting a piece of this flop. Although Stanley has the most equity and rips it here, knowing that he has a gutter, backdoor spades. The actual best hand holding right now is actually pocket 7s with Eugene, but based off this action, I don't think he can call with just 7s here. Obviously, Randy's going to fold when it gets back to her, having nothing of this board. Making a super light call with 6-3 off. Maybe thought she was getting a good price, hoping to maybe spike some low cards. Yeah, I just don't see Eugene putting half of his stack at risk here with 2 overcards, knowing that Stanley was the pre-flop aggressor and rips the remaining chips in post-flop. Basically made a pot-sized bet, which again was for the rest of his stack. Eugene with the underpair to the board. Thank you, Adam, saying that we're doing a good job here in the stream. And again, kudos again to all the staff here at Poker House Dallas. Did a phenomenal job. Every time I stepped out of the booth, I saw Eric, Danielle, Matt, other dealers just running around with their heads cut off, just making sure they were doing the best job to keep this tournament flow running as best as they could. Did a phenomenal job. After this hand concludes, after Eugene makes a decision here, I'm going to step out with grab a pen. Definitely want to take your suggestions here in the chat. Improvements to the room. Some improvements we can make here at the room here at Poker House. 2 tournament suggestions. 3 live stream suggestions. And again, we've had some live stream suggestions that we are working on. Probably not going to be able to take care of those today, but over the next couple of days before we start live streaming our cash games here, we'll take care of those camera angle issues, the clock popping up. Now, on our cash games, it's not going to be an issue with the clock popping up. I think that's an issue that Eric said that only happens when we have a tournament. Each time a hand is complete. Boy, Eugene's in the tank here. He's thinking he either has an overpair or he doesn't. After a few minutes of tanking folds, obviously Randy folding. Cisco, what up, fam? How you doing? You can give just a second. I'm going to step out of the booth, going to get a pen so I can take your suggestions down. All right, back in the booth. Okay. Live chat. Suggestions, tournaments. Mixed, tag team. Nicholas, who was it that put a list together? Dealer's Choice. DC, PLO. I know I don't think we've run a PLO tournament yet here. I could be wrong. I definitely know we had a Congress tournament. Bugsy had his charity with the American Cancer Society. Ran that tournament for 2-3 months. I believe that was on a Sunday. I don't know if they're going to still be doing that tournament anymore, or if that was just for a short time to raise money on behalf of his friend who passed away a few months ago. Donna saying women's. Blake, yeah. So are these streams archived? So they're not going to be okay. So the first day we streamed strictly on Facebook and Twitch because we had just registered for a YouTube account. And when you register for a YouTube account, it takes about 24 hours. So we weren't eligible to set up a YouTube live stream until Friday. So all our streams going forward will be both on Facebook and YouTube. And I think they do archive them in Facebook, if I believe. Yeah, I think that. So, yes, to answer your tournament, yes, they are going to be archived. Oh, Walter, yeah, the chat stream. I don't know how to do that. I got that comment before, too. I'll probably ask Eric about that when we come up on our next break in an hour. Again, this is my first time ever commentating in a booth, poker-related. And today I'm actually by myself until Craig gets in here. I don't want to click any buttons and accidentally shut the stream down. So, yeah, I actually noticed that yesterday when I was watching myself, trying to critique myself as a commentator, that the chat was popping up. So, yeah, thanks, Walter, for that suggestion. Turn off chat. Back to the action. Randy raising. Pocket 6 on the button. Going to take down this pot. Big O tournament. / Congress. Oh, does it really, Walter? I actually don't see that. Because at least in the booth, I see your chats on one chat, and I have control over the mics and all that stuff. Camera angles and things of that nature, and then I have another screen here in the booth that's just strictly the table action. Let me see if I can take care of that on the break, Walter. Thank you. It's the first time I actually got that comment. I take that back. First time on screen text and hand display. 2-letter, 2 words. Thank you for that suggestion. Bigger text. Oh, here we go. Sean and all with the Sticky Mike ripping it on the button with A6. Sean with pocket jacks in the small blind. Calls the all in. Reshoves for 650K. They're going to go heads up here. Sticky Mike's not going to like this. It's going to be drawing to an ace. Or some sort of running combination of cards. Rick here with the flop. Spikes 2 pair on the flop. Oh, turns a boat. Drawing to a jack and a jack only. And Sticky Mike with a much needed double up. Now over 11 big blinds, nearly 12 big blinds. Sean losing a lot of his stack. Now he's going to fall under 4 big blinds. Thanks, Kevin. They're on there. Yeah, I had to go back. I was like, well, how did I go watch myself and critique myself critiquing if they weren't saved? So I had to go back and think that process through. Again, a number of viewers here in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. We are here, the last final leg push on the final day 2 here of the Summer Jam 100K guarantee at Poker House Dallas. Not a 100K guarantee, over 200K. I'm Edward Batinga. I'm in the booth flying solo for a little bit until my co-host, Mr. Craig Dobson, gets here shortly. Yeah, Adam, thank you very much for that comment. Yeah, again, we've had some kinks over the past few days. A lot of these are settings and things of that nature. Again, I know how to control only a portion of this. I know how to turn on the mics, how to adjust the volume. I know how to use the sound effects. Thank you very much. That's about it. Know how to turn on the camera to put it on myself, electing not to do that. Here we go. Eugene Playa under the gun, raising it to 120. With ace queen suited, folds all the way down to Stanley in the small blind with pocket 5s. Gonna call Bart in the big blind with ace 8, getting a good price to defend his big blind. Should see him defend here, and he will. We're going to go 3 ways to the flop. Like the table mics are on. I just don't think anybody's talking. Flop 3 of spades, king of hearts, jack of diamonds. Stanley here with the best hand with pocket 5s. I think if Eugene were to bet here, takes down the pot, has all the kings, has all the jacks in his undergun opening range. Like, are you talking about everybody having a mic on them? Because as of right now, the way we did it for the stream was just to have 2 overhead mics that picked up all the table chatter. Can you hear the table in the chat? I know over the course of the feature table that we were able to. Eugene electing the continuation bet after his under the gun open, taking down the pot of 245K, 500K, adding to a stack, putting him at 1.4K. You could hear the chip sounds. Okay, Lego, thanks, and Blake, I'll let them know. Again, I really can't step out of the booth just yet because, again, I'm riding solo. Okay. All right. Actually, let me step out of the booth in between hands.
Were you thinking about it?
It was close. You'll see it on the stream. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to.
Well, you got more than 7 big blinds now. Action's on 5.
I guess you guys can hear the overhead mics now. I thought it was a technical issue.
Even for the stack size.
Unfortunately, I have to admit it's a user issue. You probably didn't hear the overhead mics because someone in the booth had it on mute. Hiya, my apologies, live chat. That's the first thing I couldn't check. I look over and I was thinking, I turned the volume up. I can't hear anything. Step outside, ask Eric, says, hey, did you just put it on mute? And I look at him and I gave him that face. He unmutes it. Sorry, chat. You guys will have the overhead chatter, the table overhead mic chatter. As you can tell, I am not the best when it comes from a technological standpoint. I'm a numbers guy, so good thing it was just a simple push of a button. Yeah, I'm trying to adjust the table mics. Yeah, with the way the overhead mics work, you're gonna hear a lot of the background noise in the room. But still want to give you all an opportunity to hear this feature table. I can hear the table. It's not too loud on my end. I don't know what it is on the viewer's end. Trying to adjust the volume here. Let me know how that is. Sorry about that. Oh! My co-host, Mr. Craig Dobson, just walked in. I'm going to let him get settled in. Here we go with action. One player away from a final two-table redraw. Stanley Holly in the cutoff with pocket queens. Going to open. Makes it 175, slightly over 3x, just under 4x. Bart in the button with Jack 6 suited folds. Eugene in the small blind with 9-4 off, gonna fold. Ronnie Bell with Ace 7. I don't think you can call here. That's such a big open from Stanley. Hasn't really been opening in the hands that he has been opening. They've been very good premium holdings. I think Ronnie knows that. Hey, Mr. Craig, welcome to the live chat. You on?
Hello, everybody. Woo!
Lots of viewers today.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of viewers today. Thank you. I want to give a big thanks to my main man, Fast Eddie.
I used the plaza once today.
Yep. All right, folks. Well, this is it. As we've seen from last night, Ronnie is a very solid player. So I'm not sure in regards if he's going to be able to make this call. With this, no, it's a raise. Oh, excuse me, that is a call. Sorry. Realize. I guess yes, we are. Looks like we are using both the pink chips that are valued 5,000. The light blue chips are worth 25,000, and with hey Chris, how are you? Yeah, it's been a
Chris been very active in the live chat.
I don't doubt it. We got a flop of ace, 8, deuce, 2 spades. Action on Ronnie. He's going to check.
And you know Stanley does not like that.
I know. That's the worst thing to see when you look
can
down.
Make a small bet here to see
2
what
queens.
Ronnie does.
Oh, wow. That doesn't look like a small bet. I think that looks like about 300. That's 225,000. Oh, excuse me, 250,000.
That's a big bet. I'm not a big fan of that sizing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, this is really a post oak bluff. But the fact of the matter is that you seat an overcard to your overpair initially, and you're trying to get a feel. I think you could do the same thing with maybe a c-bet about the same as your pre-flop raise, without having to risk too much.
Yeah, if I'm in a spot like that, if I'm Stanley, I would like to have seen the bet maybe 1/5, 1/4 pot to see Ronnie's response. And again, obviously Ronnie's going to check here, having top pair. Oh,
my gosh! Stanley has moved all in for just over 550,000.
Maybe putting Ronnie to the test, knowing that Ronnie right here probably doesn't have a great ace, which he doesn't, but
for the fact to make this play,
yeah.
for Ronnie just to have ace-7.
Chris thinks he's calling.
I mean, this is a tough call, folks. You got to remember, if anything, even though Stanley's moved all in, this is going to cost Ronnie 1/3 of his chips to make this call. I mean, the pot odds do a lot for this to happen, so he's getting almost 3-1 to make this call.
Yeah, unless he's putting Stanley on a better ace, there's not too many better ace combinations out there. Although Stanley could have those. Again, he hasn't been too aggressive with his chip stack, and the times that he has been aggressive with his chip stack has had premium holdings. So for him to raise pre-flop, c-bet, and then rip it all in for the rest of his stack, ugh.
This is funny thing is, as easy as a call this might be, it's not really. You're sitting there with top pair, but there are so many combinations that you'd be behind right now holding a 7.
I think Stanley knows now that with Ronnie taking so long to tank that he has an ace.
But he has a weak ace.
Yeah, so weak ace. If you have a hand here like ace 10, ace jack, I could lean more towards a call. But
it's possible considering the fact that he did raise pre-flop.
Right. Again, Stanley has ace king, ace queen, ace jack here in this spot. Although with Ronnie having an ace in his hand, it reduces ace X combinations for Stanley. Ronnie carving out calling chips to see how many chips he'll have in the event he does call.
If he calls this, he will have a little bit less than $1 million.
Yeah. With him making such a big bet on the flop with 2 spades on there, he's representing a big ace.
I mean, yeah, all the signs, the pre-flop raise, the bet on the bet on the flop, the bet on the turn. Little does he know that it actually would be the best call if he makes this call. If Ronnie makes this call, this will put him up over almost $3 million in the.
Well, if you're Stanley here, you're like, please fold your ace. And he makes the call. Makes a great call.
Over $2 million in the pot. It's a7 for Ronnie, 2 queens for Stanley. Only a queen will stay Stanley in this tournament, and it's a 10. Stanley's been eliminated.
That's the second call Ronnie has made today. But he made a really good call earlier, and he made a pretty sick move with a check raise rip with an ace on the board and having a middle pair earlier in the stream. Now Ronnie with a big chip stack over $3 million, and I believe that brings us down to 18 players. Yes, we will be doing a final 2-table redraw, and we'll get started up shortly. Ronnie Bell now with nearly $3 million in chips, 58 big blinds. The former chip leader on this table, Randy, still in a good spot, over $2 million with 40 big blinds.
Eugene with 1.3, and wow, this has been something.
So we're gonna take a few minutes here, break in the booth, let them get situated out there. Gonna fill up my coffee cup.
You probably go get an energy drink.
Yeah. We'll be back in the booth here 5-10 minutes. as they do this final two table redraw.
Stay tuned.
I was calling you Eric, and you weren't even answering me. Because my name was Eric. I said, Eric, you need help when you said I need to go to the bathroom. You said to call you Eric.
Okay, so are they saying that all you would get back is your 15K?
So if I went to my big blind to go, I'd have to pay towards the ante.
Yeah, and he goes first.
Yeah. So that's the only ante. That's the only thing I can win.
Let's say the blinds are where they are right now.
So if he wins the pot,
Doesn't matter. If he's the big blind, no matter what he has in front of him, he goes first. So he's at 0.
but if he wins the pot, that's all he gets back.
That's all he gets. But here's the ironic thing. If he has $100 on the little blind, right, and everybody calls the big blind 80, he gets the whole 80.
I don't understand how his money doesn't bounce back.
Because
We'll explain a little bit. Let me color this up before I lose you. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I kept 4 of these. I think that's good, right?
I get you.
So remember a regular ante, like everybody puts it in. So if this is my ante, I put it in. I can't bet anymore. Therefore, like if you split his pot, I don't get any pot except for.
I mean, I feel like if you win the pot,
Get one more chip.
I guess I'll figure it out when I see it. But
I want to make it.
Let's do this. Yes. Let's do this. This is yours. Right? Eric, can I get more blues?
I need one more blue.
Yes. Give her one. I'll take some of these.
I want one more blue. Like even blue.
Where am I at? It won't be even.
Blue.
Short one shot.
Did we already redraw?
You're good.
Oh, okay. I was there.
I'm gonna take.
they're drawing over there first, I think, and you're going to draw something.
Sure can do that. These are Randy. These are 100,000.
Okay.
So this is 500.
Losing the seat too. I'll take all of your chips as they go by, suck them all up.
Is that how that works? You just do that in there, right? Right. That's 5,000. I haven't colored up rays yet, so I'm a little nervous. You know, Eugene's a pro, but Eugene makes me nervous. It's like having milk.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, huh? It's actually very common. That's the one where people talk about you. You're very common.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yes, very good. How do we know where I'm at?
Mike's got the list.
Okay.
Where's Miss Randy going?
Mike does. Coming this way. Yeah, Mike does.
Over there? I can listen to my headphones.
Oh, you sit next to me, Johnny.
Are you coming back? Are you coming back? There you go. You have gotten something this time. You just need to talk to me at break.
back.
Sorry, for those of you trying to listen in, we were just taking a little break as they got the tables redraw situated. Did a color up.
So now we are playing with 3 different denominations. The pink chips, of course, are worth 5,000. The light blue chips are worth 25,000, and the introduction of gray chips that are worth 100,000. From 550 plus players down to 18. Someone here is going to win over $40,000 and a trophy that could be verified just as good looking as the Mona Lisa is.
There you go. There you go, Craig. Some new viewers in the chat. Tracy saying, way to go, Dad. Stephen McCartney, yeah, and Scott, yeah, sorry, we were just on a little break as they got the final 2 table redraw. Some new faces here at the feature table. Well, I guess not new faces from the past few days, but new faces on the feature table for today specifically. Miss Dusty in the 1 seat. Eugene under the gun, or middle position with ace-7 off. 1.2 million.
Looks like he's going to come in for a raise.
160.
Makes it
160,000, I believe. Yes, makes it 160,000.
I believe the blind levels are not correct on the screen. I believe they're now 40,000, 80,000 with the 80K big blind, Eddie?
I believe so, yeah. Otherwise, because that would be a min raise with 40, 80, 80 blinds. And it looks like Miss Daphne is going to come in with King, Queen. Justin folds the 7-8. Super cute.
New daddy, Mr. Johnny Rodriguez.
And Sticky's going to fold the 6-3. Here we go to a flop.
Miss Kara in the chat saying, Team Johnny R, baby Luca, and I rooting for you at home.
And the flop comes down 4-9, Queen, 2 hearts. Miss Daphne has flopped a pair of queens. Action's been checked over to her.
Let's see if Eugene C bets here. If he does, what sizing he uses.
She checks. He checks. Over to Miss Daphne. I have a feeling she's probably going to fire this pot.
Let's see what sizing she uses. Carving out chips looks like she's carving out 250. Slightly over half pot.
Yep. She makes it 225,000 to go. Action to Eugene.
About 55% of the pot. Eugene's probably going to fold here, knowing that he doesn't have a lot of backdoor equity. Good check from him on the flop, knowing that.
Yeah, this is far from a chance to try. This is at this point in time, it is far from trying to make a play here.
And again, you know, opening from under the gun to ace-7 off, a little speculative, but when someone in late position flats your call under the gun open there, you have to put them on a middling pair or some sort of suited connectors, Broadway cards, which in that scenario, Daphne having king queen off, when a card that doesn't hit your ace hits the flop, wisely checking back on the flop. See what Daphne does on the flop there, who elected to take the betting lead and taking down the pot. Yeah, Ruth. Daphne is a killer. I've played with her a few times here at Poker House and Texas Card House as well. Very good tournament player and cash player as well.
Absolutely. I said, she's a very sweet woman, but I tell you, we can both vouch for her. She is an assassin on the table.
You know, I've noticed in the past, the nicer somebody is at a table, the more of a killer crusher they are on the table. So
absolutely vicious. Speaking of that, Gold Dust sitting here under the gun. That's got the hook. She's got 2 jacks, raising up to 210,000.
Big sizing.
Oh wow, Eugene's got big slick, ace king.
Probably gonna rip it here.
I mean, he's got exactly 20 big blinds.
This is a hand you definitely rip. Knowing that you block pocket aces, block pocket kings, have the best non-made hand.
I agree there, Seth. I mean, what's there to think about?
Ruth, thank you for saying thank you for the stream. And Don Williams From Indiana.
Indiana.
From Indiana.
Got a Hoosier in the chat. Hey, Don, thank you very much. I don't blame him taking his time with that. This is a tough call. But I don't know if I would just call. I would come in for a raise. I think that's what he's going to do. Making it 530,000. That's more than half of his stack.
An alarm bell for Gold Dust here. What's she going to do when it folds back to her?
Justin with the 5-2. Johnny with ace-5. He's going to fold.
Can't really call off when there's an under the gun open and a 3-bet from under the gun +1.
Mike with 10-6. That's
Super strong lines.
TJ with 10-4. That's a fold. Back to Gold Dust here. This is a very tough situation now.
Is she going to get it in, or is she just going to call and elect to see a flop? Definitely not folding here.
What, another 30 years?
This is
When you open under the gun,
well, she's moved it all in, and Eugene calls. Here we go, folks.
classic
$2
coin
million
flip
in the
between
pot.
Dusty and Eugene.
It's the traditional coin flip. It's 2 big cards and a pocket pair. It's ace-king for Eugene. It's 2 jacks for Gold Dust. $2 million in the pot.
Oh, and he
flops a king.
I think this is the biggest pot of the tournament.
Close to it, but over 2 million, 2.1 million in chips. Gold Dust taking a slight hit. Going to lose over $1 million. Going to lose over $1 million in chips on that hand.
Still with $2 million in her stack.
She still has $2 million
at this blind level.
And Eugene is doubled up to $2 million.
Dusty was a chip leader before that hand at this table, losing nearly $1 million in chips.
We got some more posted on Jack.
Thank you, Mr. Coyle, saying Craig and I killing it in the booth.
Absolutely. Jack Venerable, great job, guys. Hey, Jack, you played a hell of a tournament, sir.
Yeah,
absolutely. You played a hell of a tournament.
Here we are. We are 12 minutes into level 23 with the blinds 40K, 80K with Big Blind Annie. Thank you, Billy Salzberg. Now following, again, for those of you in the chat who have not yet liked and subscribed, please do that on our Facebook page. Please like and subscribe our Facebook page. Like and subscribe. Get a notifications bell for our YouTube when we go live with our Cash live streams beginning this week.
Oh yeah, I'm actually from what our almighty live stream guru said with regards to Mr. Don Williams. He said that he's won a seniors event at a casino in Indiana.
Mr. Williams.
So Mr. Williams has some chops. We got to give him some applause. He's got some chops.
All the way from Louisiana, Indiana.
Absolutely from Louisiana. That's not all the way anywhere. That's across the border. Of course,
I'm struggling in the booth right now.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm trying not to do math because I don't think it's going to be very well.
We do apologize. I know. I think between me and Eddie, we're on hour 36 of this stream. But hey, we're still here. We're going to be here until someone takes home that big lump of cash and that absolutely exquisite trophy that even Danny DeVito would say, "You looking at me? You looking at me? You looking at me?"
I love Danny DeVito. My favorite movie with Danny DeVito in it, Arnold Schwarzenegger Twins. The 80s, great movie.
Hey, wait a minute. TJ has moved all in with 4-3 of clubs.
It's a blind versus blind spot.
And he knows that Gold just took a hit to her stack. And it's going to cost her nearly $750,000 to make this call. I mean,
she going to look up TJ? Knowing that he could be shoving light here?
I mean, can she really make this call? I mean, looking down at one of my favorite hands, Super Pure. I will always say this is my favorite hand, and it usually wins. But who would have thought they're going to look down at 8 high, and it's actually the best hand. Can she really put in $740,000 to make this call?
And makes the fold.
That's TJ taking advantage. I think taking advantage of the situation. Realize she
Yeah,
just
like
lost.
no way
a big,
she's gonna call there.
She just lost a big pot with jacks and taking advantage of a blind versus blind situation.
Yeah, last night was the first chance I've actually had a chance to watch Dusty play, and I made some comments saying that I was very, very impressed with her play. Made perfect timed 3 bets, sizings were perfect. Very impressed with her play. Lost a bit of a, slightly, not really a cooler, but lost a coin flip to Eugene there with Jack. She goes ahead, and when it folds back to her to elect to put them all in. And
wow, folks, look at this. We're down to 14 players.
Wow.
We're down
Already.
to 14 players. That means we lose 5 more players, folks. We're going to be at our championship final table.
And once we get down to 10 players, we will be going hand for hand at the feature table and the outer table to play down to the final 9 players.
Miss Daphne's action's going to be on Miss Daphne.
And then for those final table participants, 9th place getting a minimum of $3,900. Oh, that's 19. $3,900 all the way up to first. Over 43K. Craig, what a prize pool. Here we go with Justin under the gun.
Daphne raises it to 260,000, and Justin with the jacks, 2 jacks. He's sitting there with just under 900,000.
Under 20 big blinds.
Is this his moment?
I think he's going to get it in. And he gets
He's
it in with
all
pocket
in.
jacks.
He's moved all in for 880,000.
Not gonna
Johnny's
get the-
going to fold.
Yeah.
Mike's going to fold. TJ folds.
We don't know what Daphne has yet, so let's see what happens.
Ron folds. I think if Miss Daphne's calling, she's calling. I think she's asking for a count.
Very tough spot.
Now, for Miss Daphne here, it's going to cost her about $520,000, but that's going to be about 20% of her stack.
She'll still be at 2 million, would have nearly 40 big blinds.
Yes, you're right. She still will have about 2 million in chips left.
Again, you can't like it when you're under the gun and you open and the player behind you rips it all in for the remaining stack.
Obviously, you think about it. You think hands are going to be chosen more valuable now, especially with the blind levels that they're at now. Remember, we're playing at 40,000, 80,000, 80,000 big blind. That means each player is putting in 200,000 chips every round.
You know, obviously if she has queens, kings, or aces, she'd be pretty much snap calling, so probably doesn't have any one of those hands.
Maybe a big ace.
Yeah, it could
I
be
think
pocket
maybe
nines.
ace king, ace queen, maybe.
Ace king, ace queen, pocket 9s, pocket 10s. Obviously with the 9s and 10s going to be behind. Hand like ace queen, ace king.
I'm thinking maybe ace queen.
Yeah, her taking this well. You know, if she had ace king here, I think she's snap calling. So yeah, probably a hand like ace
Ace
king,
queen, maybe worse is ace jacks.
Yeah, blinds are wrong. I let them know that should be. I did let Eric know that the blinds on the screen are incorrect.
We will have that updated.
We were saying she's gonna fold.
I think she's carving. She's carving out a call.
I think she's just carving out to see
What she would have left.
Yeah, what she would have left in the event that she makes the call and loses the hand.
And for the looks of it, it's saying the looks going to be a little bit, almost or a little bit less than 2 million. But it's a chance to take out a player.
And again, she'd still be under.
And
40
she
big.
makes the call. It's 2 jacks. Let's see. And is that ace queen?
I think it's ace queen.
Ace queen.
Right?
Did I call? Yeah. Well, as soon as we find out. Yeah, I think it's got to be ace queen. But we're going to find out. Here's the flop.
Definitely an ace. Ace of club spades.
If it's ace queen, she's made top pair, and it looks like it is ace queen. Going to need a jack, or else that Justin's eliminated.
Oh my gosh!
And she hits the set on the river.
Justin Atkins pulls the Tom Don, get out of the seat, get ready to leave, and spikes a jack on the river for a river set to double up.
Wow.
Daphne making the tough call there with ace queen. Spikes the queen on the flop.
And he's drawing.
Significantly ahead, and then Justin Atkins rivers to jack for a rivered set. What a sick hand, now putting him over near 2 million. Daphne still in a good spot.
She has a little bit under 2 million. That's so tough knowing going to the river, you're a 20-1 favorite, and boom, peels off a jack to make a set. As we look at the chat, yes, Blake Woods, poker, man, the beautiful game. Oh, Ruth Collins like,
Sick dealer, Rick. Sick
that is
dealer.
brutal.
Justin doing the Tom Don. Well, let me get up and get out of here. And then you hear Daphne say, oh, and then he sits back down. Oh. Now Justin up to 36 big blinds. Again, Daphne still in a good spot, 38 big blinds, just under 2 million. Ron Bell chip leading here with 2.8. Dusty with just over 2 million, 41 big blinds. A couple of short stacks under 20. If I remember correctly, in the past couple months, 2-3 months, Justin Atkins had won one of the big Saturday tournaments over there, just down the street at TCH. Very good tournament poker player. I played him in cash over there at TCH 2-5. Super solid player. So you know if he's getting it in.
You know he's getting it in with the goods.
A little bit of a light open. Panda, the nickname for Mr. Johnny Rodriguez, the new daddy here. His significant other, Miss Karen Nguyen, in the live chat watching with baby Luca.
I wonder.
Takes it down.
I know that baby is adorable, but I've known Kara for a long time. I'm like wondering, out of the three of them, will the baby be the nicest?
I like both of them. I like Kara and Johnny. Here we go. We left 14 players left.
14 players left, folks.
Level 23. Blinds again, 40K, 80K, 80K big blind Annie.
Here's your chip counts. Here's your chip stacks. Ron Bell with over 2.7 million. TJ's holding in there with 845,000. And it may look a lot.
Minutes away from the next blind level increase, level 24, where the blinds will be 50K, 100K with 100K big blind Annie.
And yeah, folks, that's about to get real, folks. What that means is with 50, 100, that means everyone is putting in 250,000 chips every round. It's over to Ron. He's got 2 threes.
Just four players away from going hand for hand.
And 5 players away from our championship table. And Mr. Bell announces a raise. Looks like he's going to come in for 185,000.
Blake, yeah, said that you couldn't make it this week. Looking forward to the next big multi-flight tournament. That's one of the things I want to talk about with management here. I guess knowing that they successfully pulled this tournament off by doubling their guarantee. Now I know they have the goods to put together a good tournament here at Poker House and the facility to do it and the staff to do it. And obviously, and I think for those of you joining the live stream, I asked kind of suggestions for some potential tournaments that we could host here at Poker House, either as a single day, one-day tournament, maybe part of a series here, potentially here at Poker House. Got suggestions for a tag team tournament, mixed game tournament, Dealer's Choice, PLO Congress, a women's tournament.
You know what I think would be an absolute thing, and I know we have discussed it here and forth, back and forth, that we could do it.
What's that?
A heads-up tournament.
Yeah, you know, that would be really fun. And then we definitely have the facility and the tables to do a heads-up tournament.
I mean, literally everybody, trust me, and this is not against anybody that plays poker, as I know I said, but everybody think, in one way or another, they think they're the greatest heads-up player in the world.
Right.
We had a heads-up tournament, just like they used to have the national.
Down on the list, heads up.
Used to have, just like the NBC had the national heads-up tournament. For us to have a heads-up tournament, literally, we take 64 players, just like the heads-up, just like the NCAA.
No. You got higher strength.
And
that's what I said.
Everybody draws random numbers. We do it in packs of 16.
Yeah.
Until we get down to 1, and then the final 4
right.
play heads up.
Like a little bracket style tournament.
Exactly.
It'd be fun. Daphne on the button with A6 off, folds to her on the button, makes it 200K, 210,000, $1,000 bind deep stack with 1 entry. Yeah, I like that, Jack. Write that one down.
2 players.
1K deep stack.
Here's the flop. Well, this is going to be an interesting flop here. Daphne is flop top player. Johnny has a straight draw.
Panda checks. Daphne looking to see bet here. What sizing is she going to use? It's like over 300? 300 at the K?
Maybe 375? Oh, excuse me.
320.
Making it, she bets 320,000.
2/3 pot.
Johnny's sitting with a inside straight draw. A queen will make a straight, but it's a question of whether or not he can make a decision to either commit to this hand or lay it down. Now, obviously, Daphne raised pre-flop, so he's got to put her on. I'm hoping he's putting her on premium holdings.
Yeah, Daphne hasn't been getting too out of line.
I agree.
And if he was open-ended here, obviously this flop is not, it's not a hand that's really open-ended, but if it was a flop where he was open-handed, he could probably continue.
Yeah, I think he would pull one off.
But not enough backdoor equity with, you know, not having spades. Really only hoping for a queen. Dory in the chat saying we're finding a sweet spot doing this every quarter. I think a shootout would be fun. I know that was a really popular event, WSOP basically.
A six-handed shootout?
No, I don't remember how many players they had. I don't think it could have been a full ring table, but it's basically.
Oh, wow, wait a minute. Johnny just moved all in.
And he rips it for the remainder of his stack.
1.1 million.
Daphne asking for a count.
And this is huge because for Miss Daphne, if she makes this call and loses, she will have less, only 200,000 chips left.
Thank you, Jim, for liking the stream.
Thanks, Jim.
And Dory, good run in the tournament today.
This is a tough call. You're sitting there with ace-6.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have the best ace. I mean, you have an ace here. There's lots of draws on the board, but again, your kicker is only a 6 here.
I think it was Johnny trying to basically take the play away from Daphne. If she can find a way to make this call and her hand holds up, she'll be backed up over nearly 3 million. Every decision that every one of these players makes is so important.
Yeah, Justin, that's one of the suggestions that we on this structure with only paying 10%. Skip the number of levels in the later levels, like after like level 10, we skipped some levels. I made that suggestion, adding 45. And again, that was one of the suggestions I did. You know, day one, maybe do like.
Oh, she lays it down.
She lays it down. Yeah, Justin, I made a suggestion of 30-minute levels day one. Multi-day, multi-flight tournament. Not skipping some of the levels that they skipped here. Day 2, restart the levels 40 minutes. So that's a suggestion I made to the staff here. Very similar to what you suggested. And we got a like in the streamer chat. Sorry, I didn't see who it was. It disappeared. Oh, we got a like from Lance from Canada. Hey. International viewership. The applause. Thank you, Lance from Canada.
Yes, I love me some people from Canada. Canadian people are some of the nicest people I've ever come across up there in the Great White North.
And for those of you in the chat, let us know who you're cheering from. Let us know where you're at. I know Jim Dory in the chat. They're from Dallas. Terrell Bruins liking the stream.
Woo! All right, we're back here. Action here.
Dan Simone on the street saying, Johnny with the GOAT move. Kevin Hands agreeing with Justin's recommendation. I really like that recommendation. Again, this is the biggest tournament they've put on here. And I think they just wanted to make sure from a structural perspective they were going to be okay, especially with not missing the guarantee and things of that nature. Obviously knowing that they put on a very successful tournament here. Definitely have the capability in the staff to pull off a good tournament. So definitely making that suggestion. Oh, Scott Scarborough cheering for Randy from California.
Oh, wow. From the West Coast.
Got the West Coast.
West side is the best side. Yay, yay.
Brett Dave saying, let's go, Grandpa Ronnie. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Ronnie playing like a true gangster, man. Made a move earlier that I didn't think he had in his repertoire. Got a good check raise in with middle pair and got the best hand to fold.
All right, folks. I think this is going to be the last hand of this level.
Oh, Sean Rice in the chat saying TJ played for Texas Tech. Okay, played football.
Oh, snap. We got some Big 12 action in the house. I know, obviously, we got a lot of there are people obviously that you got your people that pulls for UT.
Bobby Will liking the stream. Thank you, Bobby, for liking the stream.
You got your people pulling for Texas. You got your people for OU.
Viewers, like and subscribe all our social media platforms.
Absolutely.
Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. Subscribe for those notifications when we go
look,
live.
Exactly. Look for the fact we will start having weekly streams of our cash games in a number of formats. And believe me, and if you want to be able to have a chance, we're going to sooner or later we're going to have to give you that ability to connect with us, to give you a chance to even play on one of the streams if you are local to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, or you just so happen to be in Dallas. But come on down. All this is available to you here at Poker House of Dallas.
And back to the action here. Daphne in the hijack raising it at 200K. Justin just picking up that big hand against her earlier, where he rivered a set of jacks against her flopped ace queen. Lex to fold suited connectors. Daphne picking up the pot here.
Daphne's going to get those.
Miss Amber Thompson in the stream. One of my best friends here.
Hey.
In Dallas. Mother to beautiful baby Nova, who I get the opportunity to watch on occasion. So thank you, Amber, for tuning in.
Hey, Hey, what's
Sorry I haven't been able to see her or spend much time with you the past few days.
Hey, Tao, how you doing?
They got me working like a horse back here. I think we've been in the booth 3 days in a row, well past 2:30 a.m. 3 days.
2:30, 3 o'clock, 2:45. I mean, if anything, Bill Brooks here says, "Go Johnny, baby needs college money." I agree with you, Bill. The problem is by the time that Kara and Johnny's baby get to college, tuition might be $1 million a year at this rate.
Yeah, whatever money he wins today is going to go probably to diapers, right, Kara?
Diapers, formulas, and maybe some what are those things? And maybe some shades to be able to put over their eyes.
Here
Mike's all in.
Ace Jack suit on the button, ripping it for the rest of his stack.
Sticky's going to go in for $700,000.
Dusty with 10 with the Doyle Brunson. Probably not going to call off here. Going to fold.
I highly doubt that. I know. I mean, honestly, it's a chance to take out a player.
Yeah.
But just no. I gotta just stop there. Just no. I wouldn't recommend this.
Yeah. Now as the blinds increased, now she's down to 20 big blinds, so can't really call off.
Yeah, that's
more than a quarter of your stack here in this spot. Tao, you're getting a shout out from Miss Tao Tran saying hi, Craig.
Hey, how are you? Thank you very much.
Jim cheering for so many. Justin, Daphne, hoping that Johnny has some baby run good, and always cheering on Mr. Bart. Donna, I can try to get those names. It's hard for me to step out of the booth for more than a minute to get the remainder of those players. I know we're still down to 14th. Again, we started the day off with 60 players, lost a lot of players in the first two levels. And once we came back on the live stream 2 hours after the start here, about 2:15, had 25 players, so lost 35 players in those 2 hours of the restart. Now down to 14 players. Going to be playing down to 10 players, 5 at each table, where we'll be going hand for hand, playing down to the final 9 players. Dory Coyle saying, good luck, Sticky Mike. Sticky Mike hanging in here with a short stack, picking his spots. Johnny with a big hand, 20 big blinds.
He's got the big dukes, the two. He's got 2 kings in the hijack.
Makes it 250.
And Mike's got 2 5s in the cutoff.
I can see him ripping it here. He's got less than 10 big blinds.
Absolutely. I think in this one, obviously, you look down and you're going to see, you might see a pocket pair once every 17 deals, but to pick up, he lays down the 5s. What a laydown.
What a laydown.
TJ has queen 9. He's going to fold. Go this with the 10-4 over to Ron.
In the big blind. Double checking his cards.
Ron has. We might need to help assist him.
Yeah.
Make sure that he
Carving out chips.
hits the reader correctly.
Yeah. He's got to get those cards in the box there. You see Daphne's box right in front of her. If you don't get it in the box, oh, he makes the call.
Wow, makes
2 players.
So we got Kings versus a mystery hand.
All right, since we have a mystery hand, folks, what do you think Ron Bear has here? I don't know. Suited connectors.
In the flop comes 3-4 deuce. I think he has an ace. I think he has some combination of an ace, ace jack, maybe even as light as ace 9. Right as I say that, he peels the 9, but it still wouldn't be good enough. Here's the.
I think it went check on the flop.
It did.
Interesting.
3-4 deuce flop and Johnny with an overpair.
I think Johnny electing to be deceptive with his kings there. Ronnie carving out betting chips to lead on the turn with a 9 of hearts hitting makes it
200,000.
200,000. Terrell saying Sticky Mike has to be the best poker name.
Absolutely.
All right, so Terrell, you know what my nickname is here on Poker Atlas and the poker community? My nickname is the Asian Sensation, so that's pretty good, I think. I'm thinking about changing it to Rice's Life. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, Panda obviously making the call with pocket kings and overpair to the board. River brings out a 6 of hearts. Panda can't like that card because Ron, have a hand like ace 5. I'll see who would have flopped the wheel.
Although, and you sit here and Mike going, he had 5s at this moment. He would have made a 6 high straight. He turns over kings. Ron turned over, what, ace queen, ace 9. Will.
It's the worst river.
Obviously, Panda wins that hand with pocket kings, not knowing what Ron had there, takes down the pot. Wisely checking back that river when 5 makes it, 4-liner to her straight pretty much. Blake Wood laughing at my potential nickname change to Rice's Life. Here we go, left, 14 players left, 7 minutes into level 24. Where the blinds are 50K, as you see, 100K with a 100K big blind ante. Ooh, lots of viewers in the chat today, Craig.
112 viewers. Hey, everybody, thank you all so much. We greatly appreciate it. Hey, we even have a very, very prominent member, not just in the poker community, but the business community, Mr. Adam Saldana, saying, Craig and Eddie, thank y'all for crushing it in the booth all week and all weekend. Thank you,
Get the
sir.
applause button. Thank you, Mr. Craig.
Thank you, sir. We greatly appreciate it. Action near is going to be on Mike. He's got King Deuce. He's going to fold. Action over to TJ. He's got the suited 6 deuce. He's going to fold. Miss Goldust here on the button. She's going to lay it down. Ron with Queen 4 of hearts is going to make the call. And Miss Daphne with Ace Jack.
Big blind. I think she's going to get it in. 13 big blinds here in a blind versus blind situation. Can't pick a better spot. See her ripping it.
Or maybe coming in with a moderate raise. Oh, I think it looks like 3.
Oh, okay. Ron just elected to call. I thought there was a raise.
I think Miss Daphne raises it to 350,000. It's going to be another 250,000 for Ron to call.
Can be an interesting flop. A couple of hearts hit the flop.
Oh, wow. If hearts hit the flop, everybody look out.
I'm not going to lie. I want to see some fireworks. I want to see 2 hearts in the flop.
Uh-oh. It looks like Eddie is trying to request for the pain.
Give me something good, Rick, on the flop.
No. No pain alarm. No pain alarm. Action checks around.
Yeah, definitely checking here, knowing that this board is a
ace on the turn.
Turns an ace.
But it does give Ron a wheel draw.
She's going to bet here.
Absolutely, I think so.
Makes it, going to make it.
He didn't even.
Auto fold.
He didn't even get the chips out before Ron could fold.
Why is check back, though, from Daphne there, knowing that at board of 5-7 deuce is better for a the small blind limping range, especially in the blind versus blind spot?
But that's why it's
She still can't fit in the car.
We got 14 players, folks. That's 14 players.
2 players left here on this feature table. Mike, 9 big blinds. TJ with 6 big blinds. since being moved to the featured table, TJ's been kind of quiet, so look for him to find a spot here in the next few hands as the blinds come back around to him. Going to want to try to get it in before the big blind hits him.
Let's get into it. It's the same fucking thing. I promise.
Here we go, back to action. We got Johnny that's going to be under the gun, sitting with just a little under $3 million. He's going to fold queen deuce.
Chris saying he thinks it'll be good for Dusty, Bart, and Randy to go at it three-handed.
It's going to be a fold across. Gold Dust with 76 trombones, 7-6 offsuit.
And again, with 14 players left, now with pay jumps
I think now
taking into consideration ICM spots, so a lot of players are going to be picking their spots a little more wisely here.
come in for 265,000. Ron folds. Action's going to be on Miss Daphne, and she's got King Jack in the small blind. It's going to cost her $215,000 to make this call, but there's already $515,000 in the
She
pot.
folds.
She's going to fold over to the big blind, and it Justin has Queen 5.
Miss Nelda Escamilla, thank you very much for liking the stream. We appreciate all those viewers here in the chat. And again, any suggestions here for us in the booth, for the live stream, for the room in general, let us know. Taking down notes here.
Wow, Justin makes a loose call here with Queen 5 of diamonds.
To be honest, that's actually not a bad defend. That's actually correct defend here in this spot.
Well,
The suited queen to a late position raise.
Well, we got now Miss Dusty with she's got a double gutter. Any 5, any 9 will give her a straight.
Yeah, and look her to continue being aggressive here. Justin going to fold her. Not enough backdoor equity to make this call.
And I think on the fact that even her pair draws are live, so
Yeah.
any 5, any 6, any 9.
And again, this is a flop that favors Justin's big blind defending range, but here check folds to a continuation bet from Dusty. Ruth Hall in the chat saying, hey, Nelda and Chris.
Wait, come on. Were they high?
14 left still. We've been stuck at 14 for a bit now.
And you did. I know.
Michael Mornsor the fifth saying, haha, what's up, bud? Not sure who you're talking to, but whoever bud is.
And he gave him all.
What's up, Michael? Thanks for joining the chat.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
What would you guess? How much do you think Tom Cruise gave money? $20. He's like, I'm Tom Cruise. I don't have to pay shit.
Viewers in the chat, let us know who you're rooting for the remaining players left here.
Woo!
We're there at the feature table, one of the outer tables. TJ folds there with ace 5 under the gun +1. Oh, Michael talking to Terrell here. I thought you were giving us a shout out in the booth, Michael.
I thought so too.
Yeah, a little heartbroken.
Oh my God, that's scary as shit, bro. I have to put the. Let me just. I can't see my face, but like just my nose.
Players having a little fun with the table talk. Daphne on the button. Raising the button. 9-7 suited.
And Justin gonna.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Dream spot.
I'm guessing that someone. I think.
Gonna raise, and everybody's gonna fold.
Woo. He's gonna make it $500,000.
I guess putting the hoodie over his eyes makes a difference with your whole cards. Mr. Jeff Faber in the chat. Hey, Jeff.
Wow.
It's Eddie Batinga here up in Dallas. I'm in the booth. Somehow they let me in the booth, allowed me in the booth. Maybe they didn't have any other choices to let me in the booth.
Here are the chip counts.
Yeah, Mike. Panda scaring them all off with pocket aces, making a big bet there. Jimmy, I'll step out and check. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know all the players' names, but I can check real quick on the outer table.
Absolutely.
I need a refill on coffee anyway. I'm on my 3rd cup. Just under 2 hours.
All right, folks, action here under the gun, Miss Dusty. She's got the double down hand, 8-3, 20. Ron's going to fold. Action over to Miss Daphne. She's got 5 deuce of hearts in the cutoff. She's going to fold. Justin has 2 10s on the button.
He's already drinking 4 ounces in day 12. 12 days. Drinking 4 ounces every 2 hours.
Justin is going to make it 200,000 to go. Mike's got 10-9 in the big blind. He's going to make the smooth call. Here's the flop. 7, ace 3. No help to either player. Justin's 10s are still good.
I saw it all. It was amazing. It's amazing.
Yep. 7 checks, 5 bets, 1.
It's a true experience. We can't give women more respect.
Here is our chip. Here is our list. Again, ladies and gentlemen, 14 players left. Out of the 6 that started, 14 players left out of over 500 entries that we had through between satellites, flips, and the first 6 flights of this tournament.
We were talking about it. We thought it was phenomenal, dude.
One of the same guys who used to strictly follow the Old Testament ended up killing
How shocked are you shocked by that? No, thank you. Like that's.
Phil, to your question, yes, Bart is still in on the outer table. Randy's still in the outer table. A couple of names I don't recognize, and I didn't want to look on Poker Atlas at the names. I didn't want to make it weird, but.
And Ron with Queen Jack of Clubs. He's going to make the call.
Yeah, hey, Jeff. Slim pickings if I'm in the booth. I don't disagree with you there.
Justin with a double down hand, 9 deuce. He's going to fold.
Ron Bell been a little quiet since he picked up some chips earlier on since we went live with the live stream.
And Sticky with ace 5.
Denise Eugene is still in. When you said that name. Oh, okay, Denise. Oh, I guess Denise is here. So, I got my coffee delivered. Thank you, Miss Brittany.
And what a flop here we got. Mike has flopped 3 5s. TJ has top pair.
TJ's going to get it all in. He doesn't have any chips.
Yeah, but
he's got to think his 10 is good here.
And he's going to run into 3 5s. Oh, he checks.
Interesting.
We have a feeling Ron's going to check, and so is Johnny.
He's going to check back around. I can see Johnny making a stab here, and he does. Johnny being aggressive on this feature table.
That's 275,000. I think Mike has no choice. It's all going to go in.
It's going all in. And I actually like the check back there from TJ, because if Mike re-rips it here, TJ's got to think that his 10's probably not good.
Right. Especially now with a bet and with Mike about to put it all in.
A check raise out of the small blind with 4 people in the hand, just especially from the small blind, just screams a 5 on this board, Dexter. Yeah, TJ wisely folding top pair there. Ron folding queen jack.
And
I feel like I have to call.
Yeah.
That you have to call?
Oh, Walter's at me. Walt, is that? Maybe I need to turn the volume up. Can you hear me? Is that?
Right, whoever is sitting with you. Oh, okay. Walter, can you hear me now?
That's Craig. This is Edward.
There's a fold.
Could also turn up.
There's a fold. And Mike's going to take down that pot. He's going to be up over 1.3 million. 14 players, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Craig, it was you.
Okay.
Thank you, Walter, for that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, when you check raise in that spot on that board, you definitely have a 5 in your hand. Good check though by Mike, knowing that a player like Johnny in late position could make a stab there to try to steal the pot.
Absolutely.
So on the outer tables, Trevor Park's still there, Eugene's still out there, Bart, Randy's still out there. I don't know who the other three are. Yeah, there you go. Much better, Craig. Thank you very much, Walter.
Thank you, Walter. Appreciate it.
Ooh, I think we are at our biggest viewership count now.
122 viewers.
I tell you what, that's really successful for only being live for what day are we on now? 4 days?
Day 4.
Day 4 of the live stream here, Poker House Dallas. Thank you for all those in the chat.
And, oh, wow. And here, I think we got action here. Oh, TJ, he's going for it. He's got 2 sevens. He's all in.
You saw him cheering. He's like, I finally got a hand.
I got a hand. Here I come. Trust me, with a big strapping guy like that, he probably would want an arm. He probably either want to arm wrestle or go best on best for the money if he could.
There was a comment from somebody here that said he played football at Texas
Tech. He's a Red Raider, so.
It doesn't surprise me.
I mean, look at his arms. Like, feel my arms. Feel my arms.
His arms are bigger than my thighs. And I mean that as a compliment for the record. Wonder what Dusty has here. Cards are just outside the box, not able to read. Obviously, we know when it goes back to Panda, he's going to snap call here.
It's an insta-snap.
Must be a tough spot for her. Could have a middle pair here. Could have ace, queen, ace, jack.
Maybe thinking maybe ace, jack, ace 10 maybe?
So let's assume she calls here, right? When it comes back to Panda, the action's open. The action's open. He's going to re-rip it.
Does he put in? Yeah.
He's going to re-rip it. He's going to want to isolate TJ. Terrence, no sound from the table or for us in the booth. I know all the mics are on. Oh yeah, Chris Mace could have pocket nines there.
All right. So someone in the chat has nines. I'm thinking maybe more like ace jack.
No, I think she folds ace jack there. Could have eights, nines, tens here. Ace queen.
What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know.
Pocket jacks. Yeah, I think she's got a pair also. I don't think she has ace queen.
Like if she doesn't have a jack, I'm thinking maybe 2 8s.
Yeah, anywhere from eights through jacks. Let us know what you think she has. We have Chris, pocket nines. Michael Munster saying pocket queens. Oh, I wish we knew what she had.
Oh, she's going to lay it down.
Yeah, it's definitely not queens.
And Johnny's going to insta-call.
Classic
it's
coin
2
flip.
sevens for TJ, ace king for Johnny, and TJ's got risk. Here's the flop. It comes 6, 10, 9, no help turn.
It's still good.
Now that gives him a straight draw.
Actually,
wow, and I believe the sevens are going to hold up.
I have a feeling Dusty had a jack in her hand because I saw her face grimace when that jack hit the turn.
Oh, wow. I think that means she may have had ace jack.
King queen.
King queen, and she would have made the straight.
Yeah. So, okay, obviously, that makes sense. Yeah, I saw her face when that jack hit, and she grimaced knowing that, she would have got there on the turn somehow. So
the jack gave her a 3. Obviously, with that flop, it gave her a 2 across.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I don't think it would have got to the flop because I think when she calls and it came back to Panda, he would have just re-ripped and she would have had the fold there. Yeah, Michael, pocket sevens holds there. If it was me, Johnny would have probably flopped ace, king.
And I would have asked for 8, 8, 8. Action's going to be on Miss Daphne under the gun. She's got a one-gapper, 8, 6.
Gonna fold.
Justin's got ace 10.
I can see him making a move here. When is the tournament over? As soon as we get a winner, Caden. So, again, we're down to like 13, 14 players. I don't know if we've lost anybody. We haven't lost anybody on the featured table yet, unless we've lost somebody on the outer tables. But again, we have 14 players. Well, after the restart, we had 14 players.
Yep.
But blinds are going to be going up pretty significantly. Next level is going to be 60 60K, 120 with a 120K big blind ante. Chris says he wants to see
Oh,
three
wow.
legs battle out.
Okay, Ron's going to make the call with ace-8.
Yep, that's a hand you defended with here to min raise. Standard defend from the big blind. Here we are to a flop with ace-10. Justin holding well ahead of Ron Bell's ace. Oh, boy.
Retro Raggy. You got both players have made top pair. Justin has the better kicker. Justin's going to lead out. He's going to bet 210,000. Ron there with an ace.
He's definitely going to at least peel one off.
I think he's moved all in.
Justin doesn't like this spot.
He doesn't like this spot, but it's like he doesn't realize how big a favorite he is right now.
And Justin just winning a big hand earlier to get him some chips where he rivered a set against Daphne with pocket jacks. Does he want to pretty much put the remainder of his chips and only leave him 200K?
And Michael, you are right. He cannot feel comfortable with that 8 as a kicker, even though it's a bigger card than what's on the board.
Chooses to did he open rip the flop?
No. He did open rip.
Okay, he didn't check raise. Sorry, somebody walked in the booth to ask me a question.
No, he did shove. So Justin here sitting with a bigger ace. He does have spades. He does have the spade blocker to the nut flush.
Yeah, so I don't think he's putting him on. There's not a lot of.
But if he
could have a hand like ace-7 here, that's the only two-pair combination on this board. You're not going to see. They could have ace-7, ace-4. You're not going to see 7s and 4s. Could have set, could have a flush draw. But again, Justin has the ace of spades, so blocks the nut flush draw. Justin can't feel too good with a 10 kicker in this spot. I think if he had a hand like ace, obviously ace-king, ace-queen, he's calling here. Even an ace-jack would put you in an uncomfortable spot. Again, with Ron Bell hasn't made a really sick check raise rip all in earlier. Took down a decent-sized pot with not the best hand, but still took down the pot with that check raise earlier on. Justin trying to put him on what he has.
Together.
Yeah, very bold move, Michael. I agree. Viewers in the chat, what do you think Justin's going to do? You think he's going to call? You think he's going to fold? I mean, even though us in the booth in the chat knows that he has the best hand, I don't blame him for folding in this spot. Again, he has an ace in his hand, so not too many better ace-X combinations. Two-pair combinations. Shane says call. Kicker sucks. Yeah.
Can he summon up the ability to put the chips in?
I think with again Blake says kicker sucks. I think he looks for a better spot. I agree. I think ace king, ace queen here he calls in this spot, especially having the ace of spades. I think the bottom of your calling range here is ace jack and makes the fold with the best hand. Yeah, and I don't blame him for making that fold here.
Wow.
Shows an ace.
Shows an ace.
Doesn't show the kicker.
Wow.
Yeah, Ashley, I agree with you. Could have ace 4, ace 7 there. Set of 4, set of 7s. I don't think he was worried about a flush draw having the ace of spades in his hand.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree, Michael. With ICM implication, 100%. If this is not an ICM spot, with final table implications and pay jump implications, I think he makes the call there. If there was 30 left, 35 players left, down to 14 players, 13 players, trying to play for $44,000. It's a good fold there from Justin, even though he had the best hand.
6-7. That's all we're gonna say. 6-7.
Yeah, again, I think your bottom of your calling range there is ace jack. And even then, you're still not feeling very comfortable with ace jack. Ace queen, I definitely think you make the call there. Ace king, ace queen, you're making that call there. But ace 10 just too marginal.
I agree. Uh-oh, TJ.
TJ, king jack.
Firing it in for 1.1 million with king jack.
Just a little over 11 big blinds. A little bit active knowing that the blinds will be going up shortly.
Absolutely. And Miss Dusty here.
I need to let them know that her reader hasn't been reading.
Player 1 is all in.
Oh, she's all in.
Uh-oh, Craig and I standing up in the booth.
Mr. Bell here with king deuce.
Cards are going to be on their back.
Miss Daphne with ace 3 folds. It's king jack for TJ.
Versus something. Hi. Let's see.
See what? Well, it's king jack versus. We'll find out. But the flop comes down 5, 10, 3.
She's definitely got an ace in her. Oh,
Turn is a queen. River is an 8.
And TJ's been eliminated.
I guess Miss Dusty must have at least a pair or ace high.
Yeah, ace high. I see her having a hand like ace. Was it? Something spades? That's all I know.
I'm guessing maybe.
Oh,
ace queen. Yeah, that'll do it.
That was actually the hand that I put her on with
ace queen. Yeah.
I mean, she was ahead. I know she doesn't actually like that curtain, even though she turned the best pair with best kicker, because that gave TJ an open ender needing an ace or a 9 to hit it straight.
All right, folks. I believe we are on.
No, I don't think we are yet.
Oh. Yes, we are. We are on a 10-minute break. We got 13 players left, folks. So we're gonna take that break with them, but stay tuned for the action-packed conclusion of the $200,000 anniversary Summer Jam tournament here at Pokehouse Dallas.
We'll be back in a few, ladies and gentlemen.
There's nothing about it that I don't like. There's no such thing. Even the hard ones.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, you got to get through the hard stuff sometimes, right?
You don't get
That's
there.
how you get stronger.
I tell people you don't get there without going through it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love what I do, but thank you. Men.
Yes, sir.
Potty break. Like half a second. I appreciate it. I hope we see you all again.